Okay, so what do you think about the UN Rio+20 so far? What are your thoughts?
Well, I knew it would be a Rio -20. I came with that preparation, so I'm not surprised that the outcome is a nothing. Given the crisis we are in, both the economic crisis as well as the ecological crisis, and to offer more of the same failing economy as the recipe to the ecological crisis is a double error. This whole green economy thing, interpreted as a planetary grab of the remaining resources, is not going to solve anything.
Okay, so I know you've done some work on GMOs. I was wondering, have they addressed the issue here? What are your thoughts on it more broadly, and what could they do?
Well, I'm a physicist, so I got into this stuff because I could see what's wrong with agriculture. What's wrong with GMOs and the Green Revolution was they make a false claim to increasing production. All they measure is the yield of a few commodities. That is not food production. We eat 8,500 species. A farm with 250 species run by women produces 10 to 10 times more food per acre. That's the kind of intensification we need. Ecological intensification, biodiversity intensification. GMOs are just an excuse to patent life and patent seed. I happened to have been invited to a meeting 87 where the companies laid it out. We have to do genetic engineering because without this we cannot claim to be creating novel organisms over which we can have ownership rights. And we've seen what this has done to my country. 250,000 Indian farmers have committed suicide, directly linked to debt, most of the debt because of royalties paid for seed, which used to be free. It should be free, renewable, open source. And just like you have Microsoft patented software and you have open source software, we need open source seed for the bees, for the earthworms, for the peasant, and for every eater. Now, the same companies that brought us the disaster of GMOs, and we've done a report called The GMO Emperor Has No Clothes, showing the claim of increasing yields, false. The claim of reducing chemical use, false. America has been overtaken by superweeds, which are resistant to Roundup, and they're now wanting to spray Agent Orange, which was sprayed on Vietnam. And we know the disasters Agent Orange left in Vietnam. Why would America do this to its own people, create a war at home? The claim that this is going to create more incomes for farmers, false. Our farmers are getting into debt. This industry is walking around, strutting around with a new convergence. The oil industry, big oil, big agribusiness, the Cargills, ADMs of the world, big biotech, the Monsantos of the world, which are the big chemical companies of the world, big energy. All of them are joined, and big software, IT. Why is Gates into GMOs? Why does he want to impose GMOs on Africa? Why, sadly, does President Obama have that process with his G8 declaration? The answer is very simple. There's a new convergence of technologies, and this new convergence is making these corporations say, if we own every blade of grass, every process of photosynthesis in every leaf of the planet, that's where we will make the money. They are seeing greed in the green economy, and that is why Rio+20 hasn't addressed the crisis. It has deepened the crisis, and in every one of our countries, democratically, we will have to correct these errors. And the biggest correction is the corporate hijack of the planet's resources and our democracy. If that continues, there will be no freedom and no life.
So if they're not addressing the real issues, what do you think the real agenda behind this whole summit actually is?
Well, the real agenda should have been protection of the planet, should have been removing the desperate hunger, poverty, thirst that people face, 1 billion people hungry, 1 billion people without water. The real agenda is privatizing the planet. That's what they call the green economy. The green economy is own the planet, own the water, own the seed, own the land, grab the land, make money out of that. That is the next step of investment.
So for the elites, not for the regular people?
For the 1%, as the Occupy movement said it.
Well, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.